When Guns first got together, I'd already had a band with Axl at one point just before that, and so we had a bunch of original material. But we cover, anywhere from the Sex Pistols to Nazareth, like some stuff that Axl liked. And then when I met Izzy or started playing with Izzy and stuff, we just did whatever it was that we felt like doing. Basically, it was mostly writing our own tunes. But I mean, we did a killer version of Heartbreak Hotel, the Elvis song. But we did our own version of it. We did a really good version of Mama Kin, the Aerosmith song. Can't really remember off the top of my head some of the other covers that we used to do back then. But it was mostly about our own original material. And that was basically, it was as simple as that. The dynamic with Guns N' Roses was like, Steven and I were close friends. We met when we were about, I met Steven when I was about 13 years old, and he and I spent the better part of 7th and 8th grade just ditching 7th and 8th grade and just hanging out in Hollywood and taking in the sights, basically wandering around Hollywood Boulevard and, sort of hanging out at head shops and that kind of thing. And when I met Izzy and Axl, Izzy had really established himself in the sort of Hollywood scene at that point, but he was like the dark horse of what you would consider like the glam scene. He was more like Johnny Thunders and New York Dolls and that kind of thing. And then Axl was, he seemed like the newest on the scene because he had come the most recently from Indiana, but he had a very fixed style and a kind of direction that he was going. But between the two of them, they had sort of like a Hanoi Rocks kind of look to it. But the sound was all just like really brash, hard rock stuff, knee slides and screaming and that whole, it was exciting. And then Duff came out from the Seattle punk scene and joined up with Steven and I for a second. This is before Guns N' Roses started. And then we tried out, we auditioned Ron Reyes from Black Flag. We tried out, we were just sort of feeling around in the dark, trying to find something that would stick. And then when the five of us all came together, the dynamic was basically just a bunch of punks, It didn't really matter where any of us came from. It was what we were doing at the moment, that was really made us who we were. I mean, we were basically just a bunch of gutter rats, all living in squalor pretty much most of the time, but having a really great time hanging out. And we were sort of like I don't know, in what was going on in Hollywood at the time. There was like Poison and Rat and all these other, Warrant and all these other gay bands. And we were definitely like, the band that everybody was most concerned about, because we didn't have any rules whatsoever, and we were very opinionated and did things our own way and had our own sort of guidelines and didn't conform to anybody else's standards, so we freaked a lot of people out. But we attracted bigger and bigger audiences in Los Angeles, and slowly but surely became a very, popular LA band, as much as we hated to be called an LA band. And then at one point, we got a record deal, and there you go.